Hey everyone, and in today's video we have a tier list, but for arenas. I feel like I'm the only one that really enjoys arenas, but I thought I'd put this together for fun anyway. So sit back and enjoy my Apex Legends arena tier list. When I was making this guide, I actually noticed how pointless some of the Legends abilities are, but anyway. First up on the docket we have Bloodhound. Bloodhound sits comfortably at the top of the S tier. The ability to scan a large section makes it easy to find your enemies in maps that are already quite small, and then plan your attack. Ultimate wise, it's very good as you can really see your enemies as they're not hundreds of places to cover or hide, so it makes for some good sniping if you can use a sniper. Bloodhound's passive is relatively useless in arenas, but it's still nice to have in case you find yourself in a 1v1 and you're struggling to find out where the enemy is. Next up in the S tier we have our favourite, incredible in the Battle Royale and incredible in arenas, Gibraltar. Gibraltar's kit, as you guys know, is really good and a real pain to deal with. In arenas it's no different. The bubble shield can cover any fight you don't want to have, any ability you don't want in, apart from Maggie's tactical of course. But if you find yourself getting killed in open fields, you can control the fight with your ultimate. You also get the nice incoming damage reduction too, which is really nice for Gibraltar. But before we carry on with the S tier, if you do enjoy this video, please consider dropping a like, a comment or even subscribing, it really does help me out. But S tier is also home to the legend with the most annoying voice lines, our good grenade wielding friend Fuse. Fuse has a great kit for constantly fighting, with all three of his abilities being useful. Ultimate wise, it allows you to control the fight and keep the enemies backed into a corner. His passive is great with the team, if both teammates buy one grenade for him, so he has a nice arsenal for when the fight breaks out. Due to the size of his maps being quite small, due to the size of the maps being quite small, his ultimate passive grenade throwing and tactical, you can pretty much cover the entire map. So because of the usefulness of all of his abilities and the available synergy you have with the team, I think it earns him a spot in the S tier. The final legend in the S tier is the incredible 1v1 artist, Mirage. Mirage should technically win every 1v1 due to his ability to confuse the enemy. His passive is relatively useless in this, but his tactical does put him in the S tier. Even using his ultimate can really confuse people. But bear in mind, a lot of these arena maps are incredibly small, so it allows for Mirage to successfully bamboozle very well. It's just a shame his passive is not as good as it could be, especially useless in arenas. So that sums up the S tier. So we have Bloodhound, we have Gibraltar, Fuse, and then to finish off we have Mirage. But now heading into the A tier, we have my main, Bangalore. I really wish she could be placed higher up, but unfortunately she's been indirectly nerfed by the addition of wallhack legends, it feels like. So she'll sit at the top of the A tier. My reasoning behind this is because her tactical allows for her to control the small arena battlefields. You know, whether it's covering open ground so her or her teammates can move across it, smoke and res, smoke and escape, etc. I love Bangalore, but she does get bullied by respawn almost every update. Horizon also finds herself in the A tier. Her passive, ultimate and tactical are all useful and prove for great arena fighting. Horizon works best when synergizing with teammates, but she is still an incredible legend on her own, so she's comfortably in the A tier. But when you really pair Horizon in a 3-stack, her abilities are, you know, the opportunities are endless. You can do so much with her ultimate, with Fuse for example. You could do so much with her tactical. You can rush straight in with Maggie and her shotgun passive. You can do so much, and Horizon is definitely an underused legend in my opinion. Next up we have our favourite speed demon, Octane. I think people might have a problem with this as he does bring a lot to the team with his jump pad and his ability to flank, but I think the best Apex Legends arena strategy is mainly to trade shots until you drain them of their resources. Constantly rushing, you know, which is what Octane is really good for, will just get countered by the enemy. You'll learn to read them. And with strategies in mind, I have done an arenas guide, which I'm going to leave in the comments below. So if you want to check that out, by all means, it's a complete guide, front to back, which did really well with people. People seem to enjoy it. So I recommend that if you're looking to get better in the arenas. After Octane, we have the next legend in the A tier. We have Rampart. Now, Rampart does bring a ton to the team with her tactical, but her passive or ultimate does leave a lot to be desired. Unless you're really good with LMGs, she's pretty much just used for her shields, but this is still good. She's good at trading shots with the enemy and dealing damage through her amped up shields. So whether you're trying to, you know, crush the enemy, take away their shields, take away their supplies, their healing, their syringes, etc. She's really good to hold a position. The only problem is when the circle moves in, you're going to be losing all your shields. So she's earned herself a nice spot in the A tier. So Lifefinder's next up. Now in arenas, one of the most aggravating things to do is revive someone. All you do is allow the enemy to move forward and get someone up to do, 2 shots. However, with Lifeline, you have the ability to revive and cover and stop the enemy's advancements. Double that with a gold bag, you can literally win most games with her. However, her ultimate is useless, so it warrants herself a nice spot in the A tier. Now finally, at the end of the A tier, we have Revenant. Now I didn't know whether to put him in B tier or the A tier, however this is only for his tactical. I personally think his ultimate isn't very good, it's easily seen and you shouldn't really rely on dying in arenas, more picking the enemy off. What I mean by this is you shouldn't really rely on falling into a bad position, you should be able to just pick the enemy off from afar and then move in when the time is right. His tactical allows for him to shut down the enemy team for a good chunk of time, which can be detrimental to winning. Now on to B tier. So at the end of A tier, we had Bangalore, we had Horizon, Octane, Rampart, Lifeline and Revenant. But the B tier we have Sear, the guy who felt like he came and went in my opinion. Sear is great, but his ultimate can be easily countered by just walking away and waiting, or being shot down. Sear's passive is mediocre, as you should always know where the enemy is in arenas. There's no point ratting in arenas. Tactical wise is really good, but easily managed if you have good movement skills and play medium range. So if the enemy have a sear, or or you have a sear, expect them, or you should be playing the medium game from sear, so you have time to move if the battle turns against you. That's what I mean by that anyway. Valkyrie is one of my favourite legends since utilising her a lot more when Stormpoint came out. She's really good when it comes down to using a jetpack as a movement technique, but arena maps don't have much in the case of verticality, so it's pretty useless. Her tactical is okay, but again, easily outmaneuvered in the higher ranks. The only way to properly utilise this is to make people leave cover, so for that she's in the B tier. Next up is a legend I put at the bottom of the BR tier list, but in the B tier we have Caustic. One of the few legends whose ultimate is actually good in arenas. The ability to bring an area of effect damage ability is one of the main reasons to have Caustic in the B tier. His tactical is good but can be easily destroyed, as arenas can be a bit slower than Battle Royale, which gives the enemies more time to get rid of your traps. The last entry in the B tier is Pathfinder. I'll probably get flack for this, as Pathfinder does have good uses. I just don't find him particularly useful, as his passive doesn't work. His ultimate leaves you open in these maps which are very small, very open, and his tactical has a one use, but it's just not enough to put him high up. So I'd love to know what you guys think about putting Pathfinder at the bottom of the B tier. Maybe I could put him at the top of the B tier. I just find that a lot of Pathfinder's abilities screw him over by being either out of position or in the open. Now that does conclude B tier. It's a very, very short tier there. We had Sear, Valkyrie, we had Caustic, and then Pathfinder. So moving on to the C tier, we have Wraith, everyone's favourite solo legend. As I said in the Battle Royale tier list, her reputation brings her down, but she's also relatively useless in arenas. In Battle Royale, you can use her to escape third parties, use her tactical to escape third parties, but in arenas, you should never really rely on escaping or allowing yourself to be in a bad position. Her ultimate is okay, but again, it's a lot of points for an ability you should never really have to use. The new legend Mad Maggie also has a place in C tier. Her passive isn't great, because like Octane, rushing will not always work, so it's useful for a surprise round, but not so much the next round. Her tactical is incredible, but the thing with arenas is the amount of cover you can transition to or go in a completely different way. So if you put down Mad Maggie's tactical, her drill, her riot drill into one of the crates, the enemy can just move to a crate literally 10 meters, 5 meters to the right. So it's not that good, but her ultimate is okay, but it does give the enemy a speed boost, as well as it being the same problem as her tactical. It won't always work, and again with her passive, that will only work one time because the enemy will expect it. Watson was a hard person to place, as she's really good at holding a point, but the minute you need to move, it ruins the layout. Her passive is useless, her electric poles don't really warrant much due to the lack of buildings in the arena, so you can shoot the poles pretty easily, and as I said, with her ultimate down, it can A, be shot, or B, just you might have to move and leave it behind. So for all that, Watson is in the C tier.
Oh my god, so many arcs.
Next up in the C tier, we have Ashe. She's great in arenas, but not as good as others. Her passive is useless. Tactical is good, but can be dodged if it's not used well, which predominantly of the time is not going to be used well. Her ultimate is good and can allow her to get some good lane advantage in the 3-laned arena map layouts, but she just doesn't have the same usefulness that other legends have. And what I mean by this is Ashe is a great legend, but would you rather have someone like Lifeline or Gibraltar, for example? Talking about useless legends, we have Loba. The only thing she's good at is for snatching the guns or shields away from the care packages or the loot crates, which is great, but again will only be good once until the enemy know your plan. Her escape is good, her tactical is good, but it's a solo escape as opposed to a team escape. And as opposed to someone like Horizon, why would you choose Horizon and her tactical over Loba and her tactical when you can help the team out as well? Loba's thick, but she's no good at arenas. Finally, before we get to the D tier, let's just cover the C tier. We have Wraith, Mad Maggie, Watson, Ashe, and Loba. Finally, we have one legend left. If you guys get it, I hate this legend so much. I love everything but playing the legend. Finally, in the D tier, the most useless legend, Crypto. Crypto is just not good. As I mentioned in my Battle Royale tier list, the idea of having to sit in one spot or throw out an empty, an empty EMP is just not great. An easy counter is to immediately shield when getting EMP, so you only have to deal with the slow. But when you're throwing out Crypto's drone and then using an EMP, it just, I don't know. I'd rather have someone else on the battlefield with me. If I'm charging into battle, if I look to my right or left and I see a Crypto, I just don't tend to have good feelings about that. I'd love to know your thoughts on this tier list, guys. As I said earlier, I've made an arenas guide, which I'll put in the comments below. But until the next video, I'll see you later.